Every day, over 80% of global trade is conducted in US dollars. Even in countries thousands of miles away from America, the dollar decides the price of food, oil, and even rent. It doesn't matter if you live in Brazil, Nigeria, or Japan. The value of your currency is tied, one way or another, to the greenback. But how did one nation's money come to control the entire planet? And could it ever lose that power? The story begins in the ashes of World War II. Europe was devastated. Economies were shattered. The old financial system no longer worked. In 1944, world leaders met at a small town in New Hampshire. The conference was called Bretton Woods. There, the United States offered a simple deal. Tie your currencies to the dollar, and the dollar will be tied to gold. At the time, America owned more than 2/3 of the world's gold reserves. Its factories were booming. Its economy was untouched by the destruction of war. So the world agreed. For decades, the US dollar became the anchor of the global financial system. But then, something snapped. In 1971, President Richard Nixon made a shocking announcement. The United States would no longer exchange dollars for gold. The so-called gold standard was dead. Many thought this would destroy confidence in the dollar. Instead, the opposite happened. Freed from gold, the dollar became even more powerful. But why? The answer lies in oil. In the early 1970s, the US struck a crucial deal with Saudi Arabia. In exchange for American weapons and protection, Saudi oil would only be sold in US dollars. Other oil-producing nations followed. Suddenly, if any country wanted to buy oil, the lifeblood of modern economies, it had to first get US dollars. This system became known as the Petrodollar, and it locked the world into America's currency, permanently. Think about it. A country like Japan, importing energy, must earn dollars first, so it sells cars and electronics to the US. This creates a cycle. The US buys goods, pays in dollars, and those dollars circulate around the globe. No matter what, demand for the greenback never stops. Fast forward to today. The US dollar isn't just money, it's a weapon. When Washington imposes sanctions, it doesn't always need armies. It simply cuts nations off from the dollar system. Iran, North Korea, Russia. Without dollars, these economies struggle to trade, to borrow, even to pay for essentials. This power is amplified by SWIFT, the global banking network. Remove a country from SWIFT, and its access to dollars disappears overnight. The numbers tell the story. Over 60% of the world's central bank reserves are still held in US dollars. More than half of global trade invoices are written in dollars. Even when two countries trade with each other, say Brazil and India, they often settle the bill in US dollars. The world runs on American money, whether we like it or not. But will this last forever? Some nations are pushing back. The BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have all tried to build alternatives. China is promoting its own currency, the yuan, for international trade. Russia and Iran are experimenting with payment systems outside SWIFT. And new technologies, from cryptocurrencies to digital central bank currencies, threaten to shake the foundations of the system. But there's a problem. No other currency has the same combination of trust, liquidity, and scale as the US dollar. For now, the greenback remains the king of money, and no one is close to dethroning it. The dollar doesn't just buy things, it buys power. Every transaction, every oil barrel, every trade agreement is a reminder that America's money is still the world's money. The only question is, for how long? Because when the world's reserve currency finally changes, it won't just shake economies. It could change global power itself. Next time, we'll ask, why are food prices exploding? And what hidden domino effects are driving the cost of living through the roof?